What's up, everyone? How you doing? So, I wasn't quite sure what to make this video on today, but I just wanted to talk about a couple things. I never really plan out my videos. Sometimes I have a topic it's in my mind and I really want to discuss, and sometimes I kind of come up with it on the fly and I kind of piece it together as I go. Maybe that's the wrong way to do things, but I feel like it's more organic that way, and it actually, at least to me, makes more sense. So, yesterday, I got together with a good friend of mine. He was actually my best man at my wedding. And I haven't played drums in it's at least 2 years now since I really got sat behind a drum kit and played. And all my friends that know me, I've been playing since I was 12 years old. And things they kind of came very easy to me. The first night I picked up a set of drumsticks, I played a song, which is most likely unheard of. I literally had never played drums before, and I picked up sticks, and that night I played Fortunate Son from Creedence Clearwater Revival with my dad's band at the time, and they were called Pull My Finger. Yeah, I know, that name's great. So, I was very happy to get that text message and saying, let's get together and let's do something and let's start putting things together. Absolutely. I'd love to do that. That sounds awesome. So, I wasn't really worried about how I was going to play. And I figured, what I normally do. I'll jump in, I'll start playing, I'll knock the rust off real quick, and off to the races. Boy, was I wrong. It is not like riding a bike. I felt so uncomfortable sitting behind that drum kit. It, it didn't even feel like starting over because when I got started, I was playing pretty much without an issue. It's almost like doing something and being fearless. I found myself actually being afraid to make mistakes and then getting mad at myself when I made the mistakes. One of the things I talk about a lot is the best thing you can do is not be afraid to fail, not be afraid to make mistakes, because that's how you learn. You don't learn by winning. Winning is, what you do after you've learned enough. Sometimes you get lucky and you win immediately. That does happen to people. But you learn to win through your failures, through your mistakes. And I'm starting to realize, I'm 40 years old now. So this is not quite as easy as it was to just jump back in and start doing what I used to do. Some stuff sounded good, but most of it I sounded like crap. I can be 100% honest with myself. I'm not that vain where I have to say it didn't sound that bad. No, it sounded terrible. It sounded terrible. I didn't want it to, but it's probably going to take me a few months to really start to get my body back to where it needs to be, to where it just responds. And it makes me sad. If at the least I would have just had a practice pad out and had my hands going, something just to keep my wrists warm, so that my stroke on the drums was still clean. That would have been so much better than what I am now. But this is one of those things you have to remember. It's sometimes as you get older, things aren't going to come back quite as quick. Practice is extremely important. You have to put that effort in. It doesn't just happen automatically. A lot of people want the result, but don't want to put out the effort. They want to win. They don't want to practice. That would be great if you could do that. But if you could, then everybody would do everything they wanted. Nobody would ever be afraid because there's no failure. And I think fear is one of the better motivators that you can have. If you go out there and you're not afraid, well, winning, it's not as easy. I feel like fear actually helps you win easier. And B, winning doesn't feel good if you expect it. It doesn't feel quite as good. A healthy fear helps you. It pushes you to be better. It guides you forward. And that's extremely important. I find myself for the first time in a very long time, you know, afraid of what's going to happen if I don't make progress. Because I wouldn't blame him if he said, "Look, you're just not good enough to do this." And if I wasn't, I would agree 100%. It is what it is. You don't want to spend your time playing with somebody in a band if they're not going to be able to keep up, or they're not going to improve, or they're not going to try. That's very important, especially in something like that, because everybody has to want to be better. So I'm going to have to take the time now. I'm going to have to find the time. So it's probably, sacrificing some sleep, which is fine. I'm going to have to take the time and put the effort into learning these songs, especially because they're longer songs than I'm used to. When I played with Set Ablaze, when we were touring and when we were writing music, our music was between 2.5 and 3.5 minutes most times. I think we had some songs that were a little longer or some songs that were a little shorter, but that's normal for, metal, hardcore. That's probably about right. 2.5, 3.5 minutes per song. These songs that I'm working on with Vince are, you're talking around 10 minutes long. So it's going to take real effort on my part to be better. And I need to be better. Not just for me, but, for him, and also for whoever, ends up playing guitar and whoever's doing vocals. Because if the guy that's supposed to be keeping time is dragging you down, that makes the band that much worse. So that just goes to show you, no matter how badly you want something, you still have to put the effort in. And that's a good thing, because it lets you know you're human. And it lets you know that when it is right, when you get it back, it's going to feel that much better. It's a great thing. So, I tell people, don't ever be afraid to fail. You should also never be afraid to be afraid. Right? There's different kinds of fear. The bad fear is the fear that stops you from trying. It stops you from making an effort. You're so afraid that you're going to, not do something well, or that you're just going to look like a fool, or whatever else it may be, that it prevents you from even trying. And that is a terrible kind of fear. That's the wrong kind of fear. The fear that you need is that fear that you don't want to let yourself down. So you have to work harder so that you don't let yourself down, so you don't look like a fool, so that you can have that thing that you so desire. And I'll tell you right now, playing music it's truly one of the things in this life that I love more than anything. I love that. There are very few things I love more than that. If you take away the love I have for my family, music is probably tied for one, if I'm being honest. You have Fallout, Deadpool, and music. Probably all about the same for me. Everybody has things that they love, that they want to do, or that they enjoy doing. Well, those are the three things that I truly enjoy doing. And life is boring without the things that you truly love. So don't ever be afraid to take that step and figure out that you need to work. I figured out pretty quickly yesterday. I was actually a little embarrassed, if I'm being honest, when I sat behind that drum kit, and after the first few minutes of playing and realizing, man, I'm not picking this up as fast as I should. My body's not responding. My hands aren't doing what they should. My feet aren't moving the way they should. My mind is way ahead of my body. When it used to be, when I thought of something, my body would just do it. So now I have to get that back. I have to get my body used to responding quickly, and that's going to take time. So I have to put the work in, but I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of failing, because it's going to take failing quite a few times, before I get it right. So I'll let you go with this. when you really, really want to do something, do it. You're probably going to have to work. You're going to have to practice. You're going to have to try. You may even need help. You might have to ask questions. You might need somebody there to tell you what they see you doing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, because every bit of that information helps you put it together that much quicker. You know, I'm lucky because Vinny is not a person who gets frustrated very easily, or at least he's not outwardly frustrated. I think he enjoyed laughing at me a little bit, a little bit yesterday, because I was lagging behind him a lot. So I'm very excited to try to put this, put this together and put myself on the right path with these songs and getting my stroke back on the drums. That's something I always believed, set me apart from some people. I was always excellent at picking things up quickly, and I could make something sound great and still sound like my own. So never fear that. Never fear looking like a fool. If it's something you want to do, you go out and you try, regardless of what it is. It takes time, takes effort, and that's a good thing, because the harder you work at it, the better you feel when you get it right. The more you've earned it. And when you earn something, it tastes that much sweeter when you get it. It tastes so much sweeter. If something's handed to you, it's boring. If you're perfect, it's boring. Life is not about perfection. Life is about taking the chance, either doing well or failing, moving forward, and taking that chance again. That healthy fear, you need it in life to succeed. So don't be afraid to succeed. Do the work, and everything will come in time. It always does. But that's going to wrap it up. Listen, I love you guys. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. My goal is to make a couple more videos this week. I have a few other things I want to say, but this video is already getting a little bit long. So I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Later on.